shots ring out in the barroom night. Enter Betty Valentine from the floor above. She sees a bartender in a pool of blood. Cries out, they've killed my love. Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
So where are we now? As this part of the investigation winds down, and I have shared with you pretty much all of the information that I myself uncovered. Welcome back to Corrupt Clearfield, and thank you folks again for listening. Remember, you can follow along at corruptclearfield.com by using the Dropbox file link to check out all the documents that we've went over for the entirety of this case. Make sure that all the documents are saying what it is I am echoing here. And you can just pretty much check out the relative absurdity of all of this for yourself. So here's the wrap-up. Here's where we're at now. Tara's divorce was granted by Judge Terry because apparently there is a 2-year statute, or I'm not sure exactly what the legalese is, but after 2 years, if you filed from divorce and the other person hasn't fought it or whatever, it can be automatically granted. So Judge Terry granted the divorce. Tara got away. All that credit card debt that she ran up for John, $83,000 worth of debt, is all on John now. She has no liability to it. She got away with almost all of the marital property, and she no longer owes him a dime, even though she was the one who had access to the money for the better part of the last 2 years. Because he's in jail, John's Social Security was canceled as well on 9/1/16, so roughly 2 months ago. Not only were the people who were handling his finances for him completely blindsided by this, but now Social Security is also demanding that John pay back his July and August payments, saying that he should not have been receiving it at all while he's in jail. This, of course, is more money than he has on his person, and considering the fact that he's also behind 2 months on all of his bills, he has essentially no chance at paying any of this back once he gets out. And also, because of the divorce, his health insurance ended on November 1st, a few days ago. His Medicare that he would be able to get is $450 per month. Again, he doesn't have any money to pay for this stuff at the moment. Also, if you remember his jury trial, he was found guilty for the summary violation, but I didn't tell you what he was actually sentenced to because the sentencing order was pushed out a few weeks later and it didn't happen right afterwards. Well, knowing that they were now under extreme scrutiny because I had went to all of the various government offices and asked them questions, and remember, I got told they would no longer talk to me without an attorney present. It is no surprise that he was sentenced to a $35 fine. That's right, a $35 fine. Let that sink in. All that trouble. Officer Curry makes takes the complaint from Tara, doesn't recommend any charges. She whines and complains until Officer Curry goes to the district attorney's office. District attorney recommends Podlisky take over. Podlisky takes over and then brings him up on those charges again. They completely railroad him so that his attorney leaves. He doesn't have an alibi defense. They even dismiss the jury after the jury finds him not guilty, only to rule him guilty again. All of that for a $35 fine. Like I said previously, they're just trying to build a case. The more violations that stick and are on his record, the worse it looks for him as future allegations get thrown at him. And believe you me, had this investigation not taken place and a light been shined on them, Tara, like she has done with other men, was planning on launching more and more and more allegations at John. As soon as he would have got out of jail, he would inevitably have been back in there extremely soon. It was never about anything other than trying to build a case and make a criminal record, a rap sheet, if you will, for John, so that way anybody who would look at what he was doing in the future would simply write him off and say, yep, criminal element, this guy just won't leave his ex-wife alone. There are also the questions that need to be answered. Now, if you go to corruptclearfield.com, the first link you'll run into as you go down the page is a list of interrogatories for all the different players involved. Interrogatories is a word I learned. I'm not that fancy myself, but I found out it is sort of a legalese term, which basically means questions that need to be answered. And I believe that these questions that you can find by clicking that link are questions that must be answered by each of these people who are involved in this in order for this case to be cleared up. Mr. Attorney General, if you are listening, these are what I hope you will focus your investigation on, because I believe they will be the key to just about everything that we've discussed here. The main questions, though, I'm going to reiterate one last time before we conclude this. Officer Curry said she would talk to the district attorney's office for Tara after taking those charges, after hearing those allegations on 8/16/2015, August 16th, 2015. 2013. Now, there's no official police record of her talking to the district attorney's office or getting back to Tara other than Tara's own deposition. So I want to know, did Officer Curry recommend that she go to the district attorney's office herself, or did Tara recommend that and Officer Curry agreed to do it? Because if Tara was the one that recommended it, then it stands to reason she had already talked to the district attorney's office and said, I'm going to send Officer Curry your way. You just need to recommend her back to someone from the Clearfield Borough Police. Conversely, if Officer Curry is the one who recommended it and it wasn't Tara's suggestion, then Officer Curry may in fact have blood on her hands. I actually reached out to Officer Curry and asked her these questions. I genuinely wanted to clarify this because though I haven't met her, I met her husband. And Officer Curry's husband, who's actually a police officer with the Clearfield Borough Police, seemed like an upstanding guy. He seemed like a very nice man. I talked to him for a while. He was not hostile like some of the other officers and administrators at the police station that I'd spoke with. So I would greatly appreciate it if Officer Curry would come out and clear this up. It would really just, a lot of the pieces at least would fall into place if she would do so. So Officer Curry, please tell us, did you recommend it or did Tara recommend it? And when you went to the district attorney, did they recommend Officer Podlisky specifically? And then you got back to Tara, as she claims in her deposition, and told her to contact Officer Podlisky specifically a day before John just happened to like the Facebook post, which we now know was actually falsified. I also would like to know from Officer Podlisky and the district attorney's office, why were copies of Podlisky's report, both in the district attorney's discovery and in the copy of the police report filed with the courthouse, missing the pictures of Tara's forged evidence? This to me speaks to the fact that somebody knew it was forged evidence and was trying as desperately as they could to keep that evidence out of the hands of anybody who might look. That's what it looks like. There's no other way to interpret the situation. So if there is some sort of logical explanation for all of this that I'm missing, I would love it if someone from the district attorney's office or somebody from the police station would actually stand up and speak out about it. Lastly, Billy Jack and Stephanie Cooper, define your roles in all of this and be truthful. I don't think I need to be any more specific than that. Neither of you have been forthcoming. Neither of you have acted in good faith. Neither of you would answer the simplest of questions with a straightforward response. So be truthful, be honest, and tell us what your role is. If not, I'll find out one way or the other. This is your chance to come clean. This concludes the bulk of the investigation. I'll still be dropping updates in this podcast feed from time to time, so don't delete it or anything. I would like to interview some folks who have had similar experiences in Clearfield or other places in Pennsylvania to get their stories and basically the hell that they've been through be known by everyone else who's out there. I'll also be contacting the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office now that this is concluded, giving them all of the resources and files that I have that led me to my conclusions here with this investigation and following up with them intensely. Remember, you folks can help that by using the contact request form at corruptclearfield.com to contact the Attorney General, put some pressure on them, tell them they need to investigate. Please share this podcast with as many people as you can. It's the most important thing you could possibly do, because the more people that listen, the greater chance we have of not only my grandfather actually getting the justice he deserves, but also everybody who's been to hell and back because of this law and because of people like Tara who have abused it. They deserve justice, and the only way we can do that is if our voices are unified. We have strength in numbers, as I keep saying. We can change this together, but I need your help. I need all your help, whether you live in Pennsylvania or not. Thanks for listening to this episode of Corrupt Clearfield. Remember, you can follow along with all of the documents I'm referencing at corruptclearfield.com. Just scroll down and click the link to the Dropbox file. All the documents are cataloged in order as they appear in each episode. You can also help to support this investigation as it continues, and also our family as we attempt to recover from the damage that has been done. You can donate either by going to corruptclearfield.com and clicking the link as you scroll down the page, or you can go directly to paypal.me/crazygaby. That's my broadcasting alias. Again, that's paypal.me/CRAZ as in zebra, Y, GAB as in Bravo, EY. Thanks for listening. Until next episode.